necessarily mean a great deal. Again, it's the major.
Hasn't stopped us from having close games.
Exactly. In fact, we've had close games every time. We haven't had a blowout just yet, but let's see if that's going to continue to be the case. Grayhound are starting on the CT side, which is where they were more comfortable, I want to say. Their T side wasn't exactly the greatest. Obviously, we didn't cast a Vitality game, so we can't really go off too much of what happened in that one. We were busy at the same time.
We did not. What, one of the other names, I just remembered it now, Alex. Is a very intriguing player to me, so I'm pretty pumped to see him as well. Here we are, anyways, live into the pistol round. Dick Stacy going to be holding this angle, just jiggle peeking it for the moment. NBK right around the corner. The rest of Vitality heading outside. Crossing over towards Secret, at least one player, fighting the entire way. There's the sound of bullets and gunfire. Sterling, oh, he's going to get dropped. There's a great shot with the P250, and Alex has more information as well. Spots one heaven, spots one below, and needs to be careful not to overextend.
That's exactly what happens. Urcast peeks him from main. We'll get the reward. And Grayhound Gaming now have a two-player advantage as Apex will bite the dust. RPK and ZywOo. RPK being a player that really did start to shift through the gears over the last year or so. But he nor ZywOo are able to clutch the round out, and Grayhound will get it pretty comfortably in the end, only losing Sterling in the process.
And Malta and Dexter are very, very low. Surprising, I was expecting Vitality to hit the pause button and take that a little bit more patiently. They had the numbers outside, but they kind of got lost in terms of trying to be so aggressive that players stopped holding an angle, that delayed peak from Mini. Vitality not expecting that, no one holding the angle to prevent that kind of a peak coming through. Great recovery after losing the opening kill for Grayhound.
Remember, they had a great start in the pistol until Zelsis went absolutely ham on them. It was looking like it would be a surefire win. Dick Stacy spots a whole bunch of players running in his location. He's going to piece out into command in the control room. Going to be joined by Dexter, as they're going to wait. UMP in hand, spraying across the RPK, looking for a second. Will get it onto NBK. Good hold by Grayhound Gaming. The bomb will not be denied, though. Does get planted, and ZywOo with a Glock of all weapons. He is going to go ahead and take down the frag on Dexter. However, lack of firepower, lack of manpower, it is going to be going the way of the CTs all the same.
I don't even mind the fact that Grayhound gave up the plant there. They had 4 players survive, which is quite nice, build up some money. You know Vitality is going to be buying next round no matter what, so don't sacrifice too much trying to prevent that plant from coming in. The extra $800 is going to help them get all the utility they could possibly need, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not worth risking too many weapons for it. 2-0 for Grayhound as we get into the first gun round. A couple of AUGs out on the board on Dexter and Malta. There's that SG 553 on NBK, and ZywOo's got his op.
Up with full nades off the back of that bomb plant. Playing more of a passive angle, not electing to jump up on top of the silo. Just watching for the red container push. Patience a virtue. No one's there though for Grayhound. They're playing way more passive themselves as well. Using the AUG at range. They don't have the luxury of an AWP. And here comes the smoke wall we're talking about before. Dexter though threading through the smoke onto Alex. Didn't know what hit him. So first blood in round 3 goes the way of the CTs.
And there was just the slightest of gaps in that smoke, and Dexter takes advantage of it. Smoke in the warehouse clears. Apex is already down the stairs, so now we get to see, as you mentioned, that entry fragger, see what he can deliver. I'm not even sure Dexter has the information that he's gone down. It doesn't look like anyone's actually rotated to that lower bomb site or to the secret stairs, so actually Apex could have a huge role to play in this round.
NBK slightly off. No damage inflicted. As clean a start as Grayhound could have asked for. Apex down on the B site, wishing he had the bomb at his disposal right about now. ZywOo will be the man carrying it. Gonna join his brethren very shortly. Looks like he will be able to get the plant too. No one decon, no one on the stairs or the double doors. So a bomb plant for free. How is the retake looking? There's a couple of HEs, and there are kits in play, but ZywOo is going to pounce onto Dick Stacy as he We put on the wayside. Nades being exchanged. We're going to go for the repeat. Sees the foot round the corner, but Urcast is too fast on the trigger, and that should be the round following. So Vitality, 2 consecutive bomb plants, but they are going to go 3-0 behind.
Yeah, so much nades and utility thrown at ZywOo that it kind of messes with his shot there as they come out of the vents. That's a tough round for Vitality as well. It almost feels like they never really had a chance in it. They lost those 2 players, one around the edge of the smoke, NBK over towards ramp room, and there was no ability for Vitality to kind of get some trade frags on those. 2 players just go down for nothing, and you don't really gain anything out of it. 3-0 for the Australians.
A great start. Vitality back to CZ's P250. Sterling hasn't really been required as of yet. And ZywOo straight down into Secret alongside 3 of his teammates. It's an all-out rush. It's just NBK. That's in lobby. Flash down into the P. They're just going to look to try and barrel over any CTs covering the B site. If they can get a bomb plant, all the better for it. But Dick Stacey, again, seems very proficient when it comes to this AUG. He was using it on Mirage a lot earlier today. Got a lot of kills with it. Earthcaster on the side with the AK-47. And who else but Dick Stacey? Spray. Alex has been utterly destroyed. As of Vitality, to be fair, no loss of life for Grayhound.
I think that's a cool round in terms of the long-term goals of this half for Vitality, because remember, Apex got down there in that first gun round, and nobody from Grayhound realized it, so really didn't get any information on how Grayhound would rotate to cover up that lower bomb site. If you go right back at it with the pistols, at least this time you say, okay, Dick Stacey's going to come from ramp with the AUG, he's going to play at those angles, he's going to play in that U-Haul. So a little bit of information gathered for Vitality. 5 AKs, no AWP this time on ZywOo. And really wanting to kind of force this game plan of establishing outside control for the French side.
Once again, Vitality find themselves a player down in Secret. They haven't been able to do anything with it as of yet, and Sterling is going to continue that denial. Dexter down to just 8 health. Molotov in his eyes, he's going to have to relocate. Ooh. That nade chunks Apex though, 4 health on him as well. Been very impressed with how Grayhound have done on their CT side thus far. I know it's early days, but Vitality haven't really been able to get any kind of a foothold in this.
It's been nice, and they haven't actually gained anything yet until just now. RPK's dinked, he's down to 2 HP, and Apex at 4. I mean, it's still not looking great. But at least they have control of that outside warehouse. They can apply some pressure to the defense from these positions. Good kill from Urcast. NBK goes down, still outside control, but I mean, the actually getting into the bomb site seems to be the problem. ZywOo, the only one with HP on Vitality.
And now he's only joined by RPK as a companion. 30 seconds. Time itself becoming an enemy of Vitality as they look to make a move down ramp. Again, they're going to get some ground, but it's really about getting onto the site that's been the issue.
Not a lot of time left either. 12 seconds. They just have to go and try and force the plant and hope to God no one's behind this door. You could see ZywOo turning. There's the opening of that door. The bomb does get planted, but immediately dispatched our RPK and ZywOo. That's going to be a 5th round in a row for Grayhound. Vitality still stuck on 0.
There have been 3 bomb plants, so the economy at least is taking forward, but yeah, I mean, it's all well and good getting bomb plants. You've got to convert them. You've got to do something with that, and here comes the first tactical timeout.
This has got to be, I think if you're Vitality, you have to kind of stop trying to do, I know it's still early in the game, you don't want to go away from your game plan just yet, but there's some kind of miscommunication going on in the players, in my opinion, because we're not seeing a whole lot of trades on some of these opening kills, and it's almost like on Nuke, especially on the T side, there is an element of victory in just being able to get kills because it can be such a tough half. You want to keep this economy ground down so low that when you eventually do win a round, it's a reset. You can pile 2-3 rounds on top of it. And the fact that they're not trading means they're not eliminating a whole lot of the economy of Grayhound. That's why you're seeing Sterling at 10,000, Urcast at 10,000, Malta at 8,000. There's a lot of cash built up on the defense so far.
Yeah, we were trying to highlight Apex earlier. It hasn't really had any impact at all. He's got 1 assist and that's it, really. So the key players for Vitality haven't really shone. Zayu has had an AWP, not really any ability to use it though. MBK 005 makes for sad reading.
So does the 27 ADR. Wall of smoke set up. This time a little bit more deep towards Mini. Can allow them to get into warehouse. Can allow them to bust in towards that Mini entrance. Looks like he's in position for an upper split as well. Waiting for the execution. Wait for the utility from your teammates. That smoke is going to be so hard to get out of Hut with that there. There goes Alex as well. That's the outside player. And over the top of the smoke, boosted up into the rafters. Malta is going to get a double kill. And it's all Grayhound. This is looking easy. Vitality, not a whole lot to be happy about in their 6 rounds to start this map.
Right after a tactical timeout as well, the time when you want to see Vitality really bring something to the table, really show strength. And it's one of the most one-sided rounds that we've seen.
Yeah.
After a bye, and now they're back into pistols again. Full round loss bonus, but really that's the only positive, that's the only thing that you can look to and think, maybe that's something they can use.
Unfortunately, when they do have success, that all goes away, right? And losing bonus gets reset. Pretty stale T-side so far. Good utility usage. A lot of players, analysts have come out and talked about the risk of Vitality to allow Nuke to be played against Grayhound. No one really knowing what the other team can bring out on this map. Not a whole lot of information either one on them. But again, Vitality are getting down to this lower bomb site, but Grayhound don't care. They've already taken away 2 players, and look at the confidence now for Dick Stacy. Step in front of the flames. Who cares about the plant? As you mentioned, the full losing bonus is there. Vitality needs some kind of production from somebody.
I mean, this is almost looking like a nuke that we would have seen 3 or 4 years ago when 13-2 was a pretty standard scoreline.
It's a pretty good scoreline.
Yeah.
2 rounds on your T-side, you got to be feeling happy.
Exactly. It's starting to look like that. And this nuke certainly isn't that one. Clear-cut round. Sure, it was against pistols, but 7-0. And this has been every bit as one-sided as the scoreline suggests. I mean, you can see there, the overall amount of kills are 7 for Vitality in 7 rounds. MBK 007. It doesn't make for much better reading anywhere else either.
I mean, even yeah. I mean, that's pretty scary when you consider Urcast is outfragging the entire team as Vitality. So is Dexter, both with 8. The real trouble is the money. 4 players before that buy on Grayhound had over 10,000, and it's only going to get bigger. NBK again going to go for the pick. That time he gets it. Nicely done from NBK. Down to 6 HP, so he might have to take a little bit more of a passive stance for the rest of these fights, but that's the first time I think Vitality's got that opening kill.
Certainly one of the best chances that we've seen Vitality possess. Dexter has gone walking in to a trap, and MBK is going to get his second. So the 6 HP makes no difference if someone's going to walk right into your crosshair. Point blank range. Now surely Vitality make the most of this opportunity. Surely they don't let this one slip. And MBK's picked up a 3rd. He's went from no kills to top fragging on his team.
He heard you, Vince.
If that's what it takes, I'm willing to be the
say it every round.
Bad guy.
Yep. This is a great round from NBK. Sterling still here at the stairs. I woo up against him. Sees the barrel. That's an easy kill for Sterling. Vitality, they realize how important this round is, and it almost feels like they're outthinking themselves. They had that lower bomb site. Now they're rotating back. They want to cover. That's going to give a chance, but Alex shuts that down. If that kill had come out, though, then I think if your Vitality, you start sweating a little bit. Sterling, at this point, it's almost start thinking of where you're going to go to try and save this up. Oh, but they're waiting for him.
Yeah, if he peeks round secret, he should be a dead man. I mean, regardless of what happens to his AWP, he's going to have
plenty of money.
Nearly max money anyway next round. So any kills at this stage would be a nice bonus on top. As Alex has gone in, Sterling's whiffed a couple of shots, and Vitality will finally get themselves around. Better late than never.
It's all good if you're Grayhound. I mean, Vitality's actually going to have to string 2 more rounds together to burn through your cash, so plenty of chances for Grayhound to get another win, reset that losing bonus, and really punish Vitality. They did a great job of keeping a multitude of players alive in that victory. So they've got some money of their own. 7-1 in the favor of Grayhound. And here we go again. That round is all predicated off NBK's stellar entries towards the ramp room, blowing open the door so that ZywOo can get the angle. I think Dexter realized that the flames spread. He's forced back. And now the smoke to reseal that choke point. And Vitality backs off.
Just a couple of seconds and the Molotov's going to cost ZywOo nearly half of his health. Dixtacy again in ramp. There's another Molotov tossed out just to stall as long as possible. Still 2 Molotovs at their disposal for Grayhound. Dexter and Sterling possess them. Vitality still have a minute to play with though. So Grayhound have gone through the bulk of their nades pretty quickly in this one.
Still going to be a tough hit at this upper bomb site. All 5 players looking like they want to come out of hut. NBK's going to lead the way. All the timing from Malta. It's not great. The player on top of the hut's going to slow him down, but 2 great kills from Vitality, and they've cracked open this bomb site. One's coming in on the flank very, very fast towards hut. No one's watching it. No one has eyes on this whatsoever. Dixtacy could make the play that changes this round. Here he comes, not clearing his corners. Alex can't get the kill. Double kill for Dixtacy.
No one watching hut either. Now it's down to ZywOo, 20 seconds remaining. There's the third, but he's on a pit of flames. And I think all the damage inflicted to ZywOo in this round was from Molotovs. Took about 43 in the squeaky and then finished off just there at the end.
He just burns.
A ZywOo barbecue.
That's a scarf and a half.
So how is Vitality in terms of their tenacity? Are they able to bounce back? Because this is pretty much as bad as it gets. They've got some weapons to play with at the very least, but any buffer they had in terms of round loss bonus is long gone.
Dexter was spotted. Ooh, double smoke, and actually mini wide open as well. NBK's just able to walk in, provide an opening. Can his teammates build upon that? I think there's just way too many bodies, close range around it. Now on top of the hut, Alex can't get the decent angle, and even though it's good trades, at least this time around, Apex is left in a 1-on-2, a winnable 1-on-2, as he is going to get the bomb planted downstairs. No one there to stop it, and plenty of time to relocate.
He also has full grenades, so Molotov on the ramp allows him to relocate. Looks like he may make a move down to the staircase or double doors. Currently chilling in vent. Almost planted out in the open, but he's been caught. Oh no, Sterling! How have you whiffed that? You had him dead to rights. His back turned. And now if Apex peeks round, he should have this round completely under wraps, and he's got it done. I want to say that's a phenomenal play by Apex, but honestly, Sterling has whiffed so hard there.
Yeah, that's close to unforgivable. That's going to be one he's thinking about and he regrets for some time. That should have been a sure thing, or at least an ability to get back into cover. And even trying to stick the defuse, a little bit cheeky against Apex. 8-2, Vitality's starting to string them together, and if they break this economy, then this half gets cracked wide open. Then all of a sudden, Vitality have a great chance to close the gap in this score. You could see Urcast down to 150, Dexter at 0. They were so rich just a moment ago, and now look at the confidence in Vitality. More and more willing to take some fights early on in these rounds.
Oh, that Molotov has Dexter gone. Dead and buried, but the damage also afflicted to ZywOo. There's a cheeky push. It's not going to work out this time. Apex was waiting. I think he was originally looking down ramp and then just happened to spin at the right moment.
Feels like the wheels are coming off the bus. Good kill from Dixtacy on the flank. ZywOo going to come up and retake that position. Only a MAC-10 and jumping up. Dick Stacy wants to win this game, and he's providing his team all the possibilities to get into this round. Now knows exactly where Alex is, and he takes the fight himself. 3 frags for Dick Stacy, leading the way, 13-4, and he's going to give Grayhound their 9th round.
This is a team that a lot of people wrote off before we started playing a single map. They said, Grayhound, there's just no chance. Dick Stacy, 13-4. Vitality are on rocky ground. They're calling a second tactical timeout. Last time it did nothing for them. They lost exactly the same way.
Yes. And that's tough, because it did feel like Vitality was starting to build up a little bit of momentum. Had some advantages, and then Dick Stacy happens. Great flank from him. Unfortunate Zaiwu stuck on the MAC-10 as well.
And we just simply haven't seen anything from Zaiwu, really.
Nuke is a tough map for an AWPer.
Which is why I was surprised they picked it. Like, surely you'd want to play to your player's strengths.
It's one of those decisions that I think is going to be pretty heavily questioned if the result of this match is not favorable to Vitality.
Bit of a head scratcher, but Vitality, of course. Such is the Nuke life. If they can get another couple of rounds, 11-4 would not be too bad. Definitely workable if that second pistol goes their way, but the early damage, the shrapnel, has torn through the bulk of the Frenchman, and Dick Stacy again, of course, gets himself to. And BK finally gets his hands on the AUG.
Apex has found the entry down lower. He actually has this bomb site pretty much secured for his team. There is a player in the vents. He's got the bomb as well. He's just being patient, waiting for some extra teammates to come because he needs cover. They've got 1 smoke on Alex, 1 on Apex. And I believe they're just waiting for Alex to get into position to provide some support to these last 2 players.
Yeah, he's just making a move round into lobby at the moment. The downside to the T's, the timing could not have been worse for Alex Malta. Will capitalize, smoke onto double doors. Does allow the bomb plant. Now they're going to have to snake their way into the control room. They had such a great position early on in this round, Vitality, and it's just, again, it's hard to put your finger on exactly what's been going wrong here. Maybe a lack of communication. I'm not sure. Apex is going to get traded out 1 for 1. MBK, AUG in hand. Molotov's not designed for him. Can he clutch this one? The smoke's down. That must have been a lightning fast shot by Sterling. Looked like there was no delay whatsoever.
I mean, that's just great communication as well. I imagine they call out their Molotoving one side of those holes. The diffuser is going to tap the bomb and watch the other side, and then the AWPer just looks window while doors are still smoked off. So I think that would probably just be communication, which is why it seems so fast from the other POV. But again, Vitality with some advantages, and they get stumped. They get pushed back.
Only 1 timeout, and we're only in the 13th round, and I have 1 timeout left.
Is that how that works? Is it a countdown?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is their 3rd.
I thought it was a count up the whole time. God bless. Yeah, I mean, why not, though? If you're on Nuke and you're getting stumped on the T side like this, I mean, you only have 2 rounds at this point in the game. Use as many as you possibly can just to give yourself some kind of a chance in the second half.
In terms of the buy, a few AK-47s, Galil, MBK has a UMP. It does allow him to have more Molotovs and just general utility, but that hasn't necessarily been the problem.
It's interesting as well because NBK's been taking a lot of entry duties, it feels, when he's had the SG. We've seen him over towards ramp a couple times. That's what got him their first gun round. We saw him outside go for the entry as well. So you have a UMP, and it kind of takes away his ability to do that if that was the game plan.
Vitality in real rough shape, on the brink of potentially going 0-2 into Extreme Masters Major. Urcast and Dick Stacy putting themselves 1 step closer to a huge victory. Apex with a double, looking for a triple, not going to happen. Sterling denies it. Down to Alex, who has made inroads down on the B side. But he's going to have to come up on ramp, and I believe Sterling has his crosshair trained on him. Oh, he just moved away.
That's fine. It's a safe angle. I like that. You don't overexpose yourself to a peek from Alex. If he walks into that portion, chances are he's not checking that deep of an angle. Him and Dexter, Sterling and Dexter working together, staying close by. Alex is going to get this plant, but he's got a tough 1-on-2 to win. And Vitality, they absolutely need this.
Now, this is around Alex desperately needs to hold on to it with both hands, but I believe he's about to get flanked. Or maybe not. Sterling with the up close range. Dexter, though, does have his back covered, and that's the importance of Grayhound. Again, they're okay conceding the bomb plant. That doesn't matter. It's all about getting the win, sticking together, making sure you double your chances. 11-2.
The coolest thing about this is this seems like a Grayhound who did not beat themselves up too badly over that Cloud9 loss earlier, and they just said, listen, if we play these situations properly, we have a chance of winning that game. So let's just focus on the next match and you know, hash out our communication, make sure we're doing it much, much better, playing much, much smarter. And this time they're winning those clutch situations. They're not losing the advantage post plants. This is very, very cool stuff. Unfortunately, it is at the expense of Vitality, who are having an extremely tough time on this T side of Nuke.
Which puts more and more pressure onto that second pistol round. And Vitality will be on the CT side. RPK, just 40 ADR, sat in lobby with the Desert Eagle. Do have players filtering outside, the likes of Alex, but whereas in the previous time we casted Nuke, almost every single T round was wall of smokes, push down secret. We haven't seen it quite as often from Vitality.
This looks like a classic French timeout almost. I know they're lining up smokes back towards T-spawn, but they've been very patient. It seemed like Apex was having a little bit of a chat. It's the timeout without using a timeout, and they can use those positions to throw the smokes outside. Now they're trying to get someone to rotate and drop down perhaps vents, and it looks like everyone else is lined up in lobby to hit that upper bomb site. They would love it if Alex could provide some kind of an opening, and here it comes. The fake is up. Grayhound Malta knows it as well, dropping into the bomb site.
Going to be a flurry of terrorists pushing his location. Urkas with 2, Malta's going to get 1. And Urkas with a 3rd. It's been completely shut down again. RPK is going to have to try and make a move down into vents where he knows Urkas is waiting, and the 4K is his. 12-2. Not to Vitality if you've just joined us. No, you've read that right. Grayhound are wrecking them.
It's not gone well. I'm not entirely sure what that strategy was designed to do. They had the bomb drop in vents. You had a couple players attacking the upper bomb site.
I mean, honestly, this whole half, even the map pick has been a head scratcher for me.
Yeah, something feels off.
It does.
Some of his tactics have felt a little disjointed. Sterling with the AWP. Outside, gonna just take a shot and fall away. And why not? You don't have to really challenge Vitality. They've struggled to get the opening kills as it is, and I think Demi Dad, insult to injury, I think that was right through his smoke.
Yep.
But yeah, force Vitality to come get the entry frags. They've struggled with it this whole time, so don't be the aggressors. Don't give them the opportunity to find one. Make them work for it. RPK outside, blind, pushing up. Doesn't even realize Sterling is behind the box. And the AUG from above is keeping distance between the AWP and his opponents. Really nice work from Malta, and now Dexter feeling the confidence to just walk up. It's all on NBK. 1 versus 4. Vince, this is a dominant half from Grayhound.
There's nothing I can add, honestly. I'm a bit stunned.
Bloody hell.
I've got to say, I thought Vitality would have a solid major, and so far, they're on the brink of going 0-2.
Very few teams have come back from an 0-2. One of the teams that did it, Cloud9 at Boston. We're going to return from the break in just a moment. We'll finish out this map. It's not looking good. Things have not gone well for Vitality, but switching sides hopefully to the easier half, but it's all on this pistol round. 13-2 lead for Grayhound Gaming. And if Vitality don't get started in this first round of the second half, it's going to be over very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it. It is the easier side, but when you're 13-2 behind, the pistol could effectively be game, set, and match.
Yeah, nothing's easy when there's this big of a deficit. Here we go. A little bit of pressure going to be applied. Sterling going to lead the way. Now the footsteps. Apex hears this. He's going to spin and wants to take this fight as well.
Needs to land something. Not much damage inflicted. Sure, it is information, though. He saw 3 or 4 players scurry down secret. So instantly,
oh my lord,
Vitality in position. That's a hell of a shot by Alex, but he's going to need to add to it. Can't get it done just yet. Urkas bounces back, but this is looking much better. Vitality looking like they are going to hold on and do pick up the second pistol. So there we go. The first lifeline has been grabbed with both hands.
There was no finesse to that round from Grayhound. That was just, at a certain timer, we just book it to that lower bomb site. No utility. No peeking from the window, just jumping right into the bomb site and seeing what kind of a fight you can have. 13-3. Vitality hoping that's the start of the comeback. It's Apex leading the way. 13-13 for him, an even scoreline. Unfortunately, no one else is really even close to that.
Yeah, and he also had a bit of a rough start, so it really shows that he's been picking it up and picking up some of that slack. Unfortunately, there's still plenty to go around. This is where Vitality need to get rounds. They need to get them comfortably too. I mean, the French scene is notorious for being a little bit temperamental at times. Build some confidence and get some clear-cut rounds. Maybe that'll be the world of good for them. The Orc Spray doesn't yield a kill, but does significant damage. Dick Stacy's down to 3. Malta's been plastered down to 31 as well. And the expendable MP9 is going to take charge and push in aggressively. Sterling only has a Glock from this range. Very unlikely he gets anything done with it. Malta's felt the force of the MP9. And Vitality, surely, about to pick up a 4th round.
Yeah, it should just be a pretty easy mop-up. Dick Stacy being a good teammate, trying to come up with the vents to cause a distraction, but Apex is on point. That's actually a pretty slick sequence there of headshots for Apex. Here come the AKs, though. Grayhound only need 3 rounds in the second half to take this victory. In this round, they're going to have to try and overcome 5 Molotovs, 5 smokes. Full utility purchases for Vitality, which makes the offensive side pretty difficult.
Yeah. Grayhound have no Molotovs of their own or HEs. So the outside play is going to be the one they run with. Those nades, though, stacking on top of one another. Cass gets spotted by Zywu. Doesn't need the AWP, apparently. The AWP's just as good in his hands. 2 frags to the good. Bomb's also been dropped. But so will Zywu. It's going to keep Vitality honest.
He's done some good work with that AUG, though. 2 kills, and he actually dinked Sterling through the edge of the box, it seems. Down to 52 HP. Apex still holding strong in the middle. Sees the leg. Oh, but can't get the kill. Great shot from Sterling. Now into a 3-on-3, and now it gets a little bit dicey. RPK is going to do something to put Vitality in the advantage. And NBK searching for information, and he's going to find it. He's going to find a frag as well. It's all on Sterling. Just below half HP and a 1-on-2, but that's an angle he wasn't expecting. NBK with a couple of frags is going to close this round out. I got to tell you, what we've seen out of Greyhound's T side on the pistol round in that first gun round has not been impressive quite yet.
I'd certainly agree with that statement. I think Vitality will now start to feel like there is a very real chance of carving their way back into this. When they've passed all the first tests, it's back into a pistol round. They didn't see much nuance to what we've seen thus far. I mean, early stages, of course, in the T side,
yeah.
But I'm going to need to see something drastically different from Grayhound to believe they can actually get over the finish line.
Yeah, it seemed like, I don't know if like they forgot a smoke or someone missed a smoke, but there was a large gap in trying to make that run towards secret, and instead they just stopped to take the fight. That is a nice shot. NBK goes down. The Deagles, as we've seen from them, ring out pretty powerfully. Molotov to cover the rotation as Zywu comes in to close the gap. Dexter's out in the open, and he's got to dedicate himself to that fight. No chance of him winning it, caught off guards.
Yeah, unfortunate timing. The second he moved away from the angle, he gets peeked. Urkas still very much alive in this round. Does spot himself Apex, who is in main. Apex really playing with fire here, knowing there's a Deagle, but Alex has him covered. And Vitality moving on track for a 13-6 scoreline. Still a bunch of time for Sterling to maybe take a gun away. P250 close range is always going to be dangerous and deadly. There's no reason for Vitality to move. As of yet, they've got everything covered.
Yeah, 25 seconds left. Eventually, he's either going to make a noise or someone will spot him out. It's going to be Apex, excuse me. From Mini, going to find that kill. Another gun round for Grayhound coming up. Another chance to see what they've got. See if they can dig into that playbook, get some kind of a smoke execute, maybe a fast-paced play towards the upper bomb site. Zaiwu on the AWP, though. As if they weren't having enough issues outside. You add Zaiwu with the AWP to the mix, and that could just be a stomping out in that part of the map.
Sure, I think on the T side it's maybe a little bit harder to make plays with the AWP, but on the CT side you can play a lot more passive. You can allow the terrorists to come to you, and Zaiwu is going to wait, looking, peering across the red connector, or red container I should say, where Sterling is waiting. Has already been tanked down to 71 courtesy of some grenades. The smoke coverage is good enough to actually force Zaiwu back.
He's forced very far back. He is getting no information. He's watching just the top of the roof. That is going to get him a pick. Urkas walks right into it. Now he can swing a little bit wider. Look at Sterling trying to push up, trying to get closer and closer. And Zaiwu doesn't necessarily have a teammate nearby to kind of keep some space between. There's a nice frag from Apex. That's in towards Mini. A second one as well. He holds the line. This will be a tough kill for Malta to get, but the Molotov's going to do its job properly. There's RPK swinging in wide, and it's just down to Dick Stacy.
Was excellent on the CT side, playing AUG in ramp, but now he's going to have to go a couple of steps above and beyond. Grayhound need him to do significant damage, get a bomb plant, take the economy forward. He's faking out B, now going to move back over towards secret side, hoping someone's pushing around the back of him. But I wonder how long until we see a tactical timeout called by Grayhound if they continue to concede rounds. This would be 5 in a row for Vitality.
I know it feels like you have a lot of rounds to play with and plenty of time, but this gap can close so quickly. So I think you might as well take one right now if you're Greyhound. Like, just do it. Just get the first. I don't think they didn't use one in the first half. You have all 4. So, don't save them. You don't get anything if you end the game with 3 timeouts left. So start talking it over now. Then we do get the tactical from Grayhound.
Makes perfect sense. I mean, in terms of a buy, I don't think they have a particularly huge amount of money. But it's, as you say, they've got all their timeouts left. They could call a timeout from here until pretty much the end of the game if they want.
What if you got a timeout each of the next 4 rounds? Would that tilt you off face of the earth?
It would make the most enjoyable cast, but I mean, I'd understand from their perspective.
Yeah.
Because they are so very close to getting an all-important victory. In terms of their buy, it isn't great. Down to around $2,000. Dick Stacy's gone for the AK.
That's fine, because remember they have the full losing bonus now as well, so he'll be able to buy an AK in the next round. So you have pistols with utility, and then you have Dick Stacy on the AK-47. So you have enough tools to have an element of danger in this to be able to kind of open things up for your team, and we'll see what comes from it. Smoke's heading towards outside. That's a lot of smoke outside. 4 players going to be here while Malta waits over by ramp, it looks like. But there's no smoke. One of the smokes they missed is the last one they need.
It is the most important piece.
It is the most important one.
Without it, you cannot get to secret, but maybe it's a fake. Maybe they're just going to push main anyway, but that would not be a good idea. Because Apex, the one man that's been consistently on form today, is going to continue to punish them with his M4.
He's been so good. He is single-handedly keeping Vitality alive in this match. 22-14 for Apex. Beautiful performance so far. Yeah, 97 ADRs. Well Zywoo's next up, 13 and 16 with 75. And so far, Grayhound getting blanked on the T side of Nuke. The entire continent of Australia collectively holding its breath.
I mean, they had a good result earlier with Renegades, taking down the Vanguard. But they want more. Grayhound did them proud against Cloud9, but they need that win. Vitality. By a thread, but still in this.
You have to say, looking good. And I'm not sure if it's Vitality looking good or some of these tactics from Grayhound looking a little bit sloppy, but at the moment where it felt like it was so far away at halftime, it now feels like Vitality can start having a chance in this one. NBK covering ramp room. It looks like there's 3 members from Grayhound ready to attack ramp, but I'm not sure what the other 2 players are for. One's close to Mini. NBK getting some great spam. That nade, it could catch him. Oh, Dick Stacy just barely gets out of the way, down to 5 health. NBK running out of bullets, and he's got Zywoo to cover him. Beautiful rotation. He's going to hold him off for the moment. Urcast was the player close to Mini, and it looks like his entire plan was to pinch that AWPer who's going to rotate over, and Zywoo gets the 1 kill and bails out just in time.
Urcast and Dick Stacy, you feel, are going to play a big part of this round if Grayhound are to win it. Needs to bounce back for authority. RPK, not necessarily the first mind when you think it's someone holding a tight angle, but here he is. They line up for him. Triple spray. And the round is gift wrapped away across the Vitality. Sterling, 1 on 4, 8 seconds left. Won't be happening. 7 rounds in a row.
RPK was so careful with how he took those fights. He saw that elbow for so long, and he just wanted to wait until he had that guaranteed kill, and then they line up for him. 13-9, and now if you're a Grayhound player, you're feeling a little bit nervous. What looked like such a powerful first half, it's slipping away, and it's slipping away fast. I can't even think of a round where I feel like Grayhound had an advantage to take it. That's what's worrying me at the moment, is they haven't even gotten into a position on this T side to have a victorious round.
It has pretty much just been all Vitality. This is definitely feeling like a scoreline from the Nuke of old. Now Grayhound going to try and perforate through the smoke and get down into Secret. They're going to be able to do it. But really, again, as we saw in the previous time we casted it, that really is only half the battle. Getting down to this point is fine. It's what you do with it that really counts. Can you break the deadlock? Can you get through this barrier of AKs? MBK is not letting it happen. He's got 2 this round so far. And may add to his tally. Alex spins around, does get caught by Dexter. But there's still more players here from Vitality. It's looking hopeless for Grayhound in this round now. Oh, I say that, but there's the fadeaway headshot.
That's a beautiful little jiggle peek, as you said, as you fade away as well. High degree of difficulty in that shot. But still, there's nowhere for Grayhound to go. They must just move forward into this site. Vitality ready to pounce. Apex is going to be able to clear out these back halls, especially that kill from Zywoo. That might take Dick Stacy's attention away from the flank. It won't. Dick Stacy spotted out Apex. But a tough fight for him to win, and his teammates have all fallen. Now they know exactly where he is, and really a very small chance of him being able to win this. Some heroics perhaps in store. RPK turns the corner, shuts it down before it begins. Double digits now for Vitality. It's an 8-round win streak as they close the gap, 10-13. Grayhound still struggling, and I think it's about that time, Vince, for another tactical.
You'd think so. I hope that Greyhounds aren't going to panic here and try and just plow through these rounds and not think too much. Call a timeout, compose yourselves, discuss tactics, discuss alternatives. This is the major at the end of the day. You may not get another opportunity like this. Vitality, sure, the last 8 rounds have gone their way. That sucks. You're still 13-10 in the lead. You're still in a position that you can win this match.
Yes, you certainly are. Although it's looking like a more tenuous hold on this match every single round. Oh, look at Alex. That is a delayed aggression. He's going to get so much information. ZywOo gets one, but now Alex has to turn around and help his teammate ZywOo with another one. And actually, Alex is going to continue forward. RPK now holding the line inside the upper bomb site. This is so difficult for Grayhound and Apex. And off angle, Dexter never turned the corner, never had a chance to help out. 13-11 now. They still have the lead, but it doesn't really feel like they're in the lead.
No, they almost feel defeated to me already, Moses. I feel like someone needs to throw the towel in. Just call a timeout, please. Vitality, they're dead already. Stop beating them.
Vince, take the headset off. Go run down there.
Yeah, I'll find them. Guys, call timeout. I know you can't hear me, but on the off chance you can.
Oh, this is not ideal. 13-11, Grayhound still getting blanked.
And a lot of these rounds haven't even been close.
Exactly.
You can't even say, oh, against Cloud9, you can say, oh, you had a bunch of these clutches, didn't go your way. Now, this has been an absolute stomp on the T side. Like, they haven't even been in any of these rounds.
Again, 4 players towards Secret. This time done quietly. Alex in that back corner of the warehouse, normally he would hear if there's any kind of movement, if there's any kind of footstep, but since they're walking, no indication. It's going to be all on NBK, and he's in vents. He could get caught off guard. Oh, excuse me, not in vents. He's in the bomb set itself.
Grayhound scurry downstairs once again. Getting real estate, but it's not really worth much.
They at least have Molotovs and a smoke. They can drop a smoke in the site to get the plant down, use Molotovs to cover some choke points. As long as they clear NBK out of that position, they can make this work.
And again, ZywOo's here, misses the flick uncharacteristically. And the second, that could be the gateway that Grayhound were looking for. Not necessarily their own sick play, but just a whiff from ZywOo. Bomb is to get planted. Well, I say that, but it's been nearly taken away from Alex. Dick Stacy's there, though, to help his teammate out. This is the best opportunity Grayhound have had on this T side by far.
They can't let this slip away. This has to be a Grayhound victory, and they have all the advantages in the world. Malta gonna hop out of vents. And then RPK gonna change positions, and now it's just down to Apex. 14, Grayhound finally get on the board in this second half, and that has got to be a weight off their shoulders. Not just the whiff from ZywOo, but it's that angle he takes while standing in the fire to take that shot. That is you hit the shot or you die.
Yep.
And even if he hits the shot, he might have probably even died afterwards anyways.
Yeah, it was certainly a rough one. They elected to go super passive and deep on the defense, but then ZywOo really has to land one of those 2 shots. And now just an all-out rush. Not deterred by previous rounds where Apex has had them in his back pocket. They try their hand again, and once again he will smack them away without losing a single point of health. That's an awful start for Grayhound.
Alex in such a position where he can gather so much information. Not hearing the footsteps quite yet, but he can select when to go for the flank. He's got to clear out this last player behind, and he's going to find that kill. It was a little bit rough. And what does Grayhound do? And actually, he's just going through the smoke because they walked the whole way. He didn't realize it, so it looks a little bit silly. But that's Dick Stacy who got the kill with the bomb. Oh, Lord ZywOo. This is a couple rounds now where he's overextended and got himself into a tough spot. Maybe some nerves, maybe some inexperienced pressure, but that's a massive overextension.
That's really put the rest of his team in a horrific position. MBK, headshot but not the kill. Grayhound Gaming, in a round that you thought was already put to bed after Apex picked up the first, is now somehow still up for debate. Apex is still alive with RPK, so there's still some hope yet. 25 seconds, but they will be getting the bomb planted on B. Apex has gone down. It's all on RPK. And Grayhound, who lost what felt like 100 rounds in a row, are on the brink of having 4 match points against Vitality.
Oh no, not like this. RPK almost gets caught out. Erling has been great with the AWP in this round. 2 kills for him, 2 for Dick Stacy. And finally, that takes so much pressure off to get the victory. You're at 15. You've got 4 chances to close it out, as you said. And Vitality, the comeback was looking good for a while, and it's just gotten stopped.
And again, I hate to single Zaiwu out because he's young and he's...
No, single him out, baby. Let's go.
That's 2 rounds in a row that his mistake has cost him the round.
The first one I was fine with, in a way. The second one, that last round where he's outside and he goes for that repeat, that's too much. That's a young player who's extremely gifted, extremely talented, putting himself in a position where only his skill can bail him out. Now, the benefit of the fact that they won, 9 rounds in a row? They had so much money. It's incredible that they've just lost twice in a row now and still have the money to have pretty much a full investment. Missing some kits, missing some utility, but still a chance. Vitality's still alive in this game.
This is it, though. No more room for error. No more room for mistakes. We're eyeing up the very real possibility of being 0-2.
I feel like Grayhound has done the same strategy like 5 times in a row. 4 players walk outside behind the wall of smokes. 1 player a little bit farther back, see what happens from it. This is where you'd imagine all the experience on the Vitality side, they'd be able to come up with a winning formula to adjust the defense to be able to stop this kind of a play.
"35 seconds on the board. Grayhound making moves downstairs. It's Dexter and Vent. Smell. The weakness nearly gets the double. Very unfortunate not to claim that second frag onto Alex. And now Zaiwu at the back of the A site is able to tee off. He's picked up 2, and there's our PK. There's life left in Vitality yet. 3 more match points.
That double up at the stairs would have been so gut-wrenching. That would have been heartbreaking, I guess is a better way to put it for Vitality. 15-12. Money's a little bit busted on the Grayhound side, so I think they're going to take a step back from the rifles. Give Vitality a chance to get up towards 13 and then play those last 2 rounds with everything they can muster up.
Nades raining from both sides, but it's Vitality that have ate the bulk of it. That being said, Dick Stacey down to below half health now. And Malta, who was flirting with Squeaky Door just beforehand, now moving into the hut, trying to draw some fire. But be careful what you wish for. RPK, and he's going to get the upper hand, gifting Vitality the player advantage. It's hard to see what the key to victory is here for Grayhound. It's probably going to come off the back of a couple of ridiculous one-taps from the Desert Eagle.
This round feels more like they're kind of investigating, a little bit more spread out all across the map, and they're just kind of getting information on how all the different positions are played. Normally, as we mentioned, they did a lot of emphasis on the 4 players outside trying to get into secret. Oh, look at this flank, though. Zaiwu just turns in time. The awareness. Maybe a piece of communication comes out that they could be outside. Sterling going to drop to the floor.
And his days are numbered. Just a question of who's going to take him down. Now Dick Stacey 1-on-5. Desert Eagle in hand. Double peak. 1 more match point has been saved, but the Eco was all about this round. They're going to throw everything they have at Vitality. They actually elect not to go for an AWP, so full AK-47s.
That's fine with me. Here's this round is essentially what happens is you just call your bread and butter. Like every map has one strategy on your T side where you feel like it has a very strong success rate, and this is where you bust that strategy out. Whatever it might be, go to something that everyone on the team is going to have some confidence in. Zaiwu outside this time with Alex close up. Here's that adjustment I mentioned. Because Grayhound has had such an emphasis of 4 players heading towards secret, a double stack outside. I think even Apex is in midi close by, ready to swing and help out. Molotov is not going to reach Zaiwu. He's up on the platform right around the smoke. He's going to find a kill. Good opening for Vitality. He's the only player outside, though, and that might be the difference, but there's no one from Grayhound in a position to kind of pounce on any information that might have been gathered.
Dick Stacy has taken a shot. MBK spots in. Molotov straight out to deal with any potential aggression. Under a minute, there's Apex again. The events have been here thus far. They're going to barrel out. Apex is burning to a crisp. A 2-on-3 falls upon us. Still plenty of time left, and the bomb under control, or it was, but Urcast has been bested, and there goes Vitality for another round. We are going the full 30. I doubt that Grayhound will have too much in terms of weaponry now.
It'll be interesting to see what they're able to scrape together. This would be so crushing if they had to go to overtime. I mean, that'd be a real test of mental fortitude for an inexperienced team. AKs on Dick Stacy, Dexter, Sterling. Urcast and Malta down to pistols, but they've got the most utility. It all comes down to this play for Grayhound.
I can imagine if you are a Vitality or Grayhound Gaming fan watching this right now, you must be biting your nails off. The anxiety will be real. But we are going to have an answer as to whether we have an outright winner or if whether we're heading to overtime, and that's really where Grayhound are going to be tested fully. Because this match was, for all intents and purposes, theirs. That nade has chunked 3 players, though. Worth every penny. Urcast has been finished off. And it's looking like we may be heading to overtime. Because Grayhound typically haven't done well when they've conceded the first frag on this T side. They have crumbled.
Neither team's done well on this T side, just in general. Alex holding on a flatter. Not able to complete that kill, but he's going to go hunting for it. He's got his pistol out. That's a bit risky, but he does eventually win the fight. Upper bomb site cracked open, but it was costly. 1-on-3 for Sterling, and he's got 18 HP.
Faking as if he's gone to A, but that's only going to buy him about 10 or so seconds. As soon as that smoke clears, Vitality know exactly what's coming up. Can easily, I mean, one of the benefits of playing Nuke is that the rotation time from A to B is very, very quick through the vents.
More than anything in this kind of a situation with the time running down, you just put a player in lower and relative safety to just turtle up. Yep. Doesn't even need to take the fight until the bomb starts getting planted, and then it's essentially a free kill. Zywoo is going to be that player in the door. Although he does open it, wants the information, that's going to allow his teammates to get a jump on the rotation. They're going to test the nerve of Sterling. Oh dear. Oh, there we go. Okay. It's all back to normal. I absolutely love Apex. He has the best expressions in all of Counter-Strike.
To put that in context, because there are going to be some people just jumping in now watching, that's 13-2.
Yeah.
They were down, and they've just took us to overtime.
Yes. A great comeback on Nuke on that CT side for Vitality. It's got to be just so crushing for Grayhound, though. That one hurts.
So, which of these two teams has it within them to up their level, step up the gears? You definitely say in terms of momentum, it's favouring Vitality at this stage.
Well, I think it also helps if you're Vitality. You get to start this overtime on the CT side, which has just been dominant. There's no money issues for either one of these teams now. $10,000 start money, 3 rounds per half in overtime. The only time you're going to see any economic issues if the CT team is to lose the first 2 rounds of overtime. That third one gets pretty dicey, to say the least.
So many aspects seem to be favouring Vitality. Grayhound Gaming did have that second wind towards the final quarter of the half, but didn't quite work out for them. Vitality, in the meanwhile, will be playing, as we've seen them do time and time again. Alex downstairs, effectively giving up outside control. Alex laid in wait with his smoke. And then smoking, then nading afterwards. And a pretty much a consistent reoccurring theme. This time, backs away to the staircase.
Pretty sure Dick Stacy just walked through his own Molotov down to 68 HP, so that's not ideal. Oh my god. This fake just pulled the entire rotation of Vitality. Are they aware of that ramp room is wide open? Oh, yes, they are. NBK watching for just that play. That could have been so sketchy. The other half of this attack, though, that could have been so effective if it was a pinch, but just that one player comes. The players that went down secret didn't actually attack, and they have no route back into the upper bomb site. They kind of have to go for lower because you can't send 4 players up the vent. Alex just waiting, and the timing is not with him, and he's just lucky to get out of there. The door's going to open up. Dick Stacy low. Red HP going to let Urcast come out the window. Big win for Alex, spamming through. It's not working, and now Alex is ready. This attack has been shut down, and it's just a matter of time.
8 seconds, Sterling, 1 on 4. Going to try and get the plant down. It's not going to happen. Vitality take the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's the first time they've been in the lead this entire match.
Yes.
They've been trailing the whole way through. And now in overtime, they leapfrog over Grayhound Gaming.
Yes, they had to survive 4 match points. It was 15-11 for Vitality. Couldn't close it out. 26 kills for Dick Stacy. Apex, I believe, still the leading fragger for Vitality.
32 kills he's got now.
Woo!
And that was after a shocking start for Vitality as well. So, I mean, he's really stepped things up, especially on the CT side. Alex in secret. Can hear the smokes landing outside once again. Seemingly the default tactic for Grayhound Gaming. Going to be boosting over, or at least that was the idea, to see if they can spot themselves ZywOo out in the open. But to be fair to ZywOo, he had a couple of rounds that were rough, and he has definitely played a lot more discipline since then. Not peeking needlessly. NBK is going to get tested, and the nade out. That's going to cost him his life. Dick Stacy is the aggressor. This is something that Grayhound can work with.
I like that play from Dick Stacy. He's had enough. And he just says, you know what, I'm just going to get heavily aggressive. Every time they've gone that way, NBK's gotten contact and dumped his utility. This time, Dick Stacy catches him out. Alex, the next up, he's going to fall as well. Good entries from Dexter, the solo man coming down secret. It's a 5-on-2. This is a must-win for Grayhound. If they want to close things out in overtime, they've got 35 seconds to play with, 35 seconds to pull Vitality out of position. RPK not expecting the second player. It's just ZywOo, and he's got to come through with smoke, jumping around the edge. That's a good find on a Sterling.
23 seconds to try and waste. There's the bomb being planted. Oh, that second shot onto Urcast was just as quick as the first, but simply too many players to fend off against. I started to believe there, though, Moses.
I did too. I'm not going to lie to you. Pretty cool play to make, though. I mean, you had to go for some kind of a desperate scenario in that 1-on-4. 16-16.
Grayhound seemingly like they're going to speed things up. Sterling already out onto Squeaky. No one's home though for Vitality, and that grenade's going to land right next to his feet.
Oof.
More than 50% of his health has been lost. Molotov forces him out. Not worth it for Sterling. He has to just back away, lick his wounds.
A nice change-up. NBK realized that they countered the way he wanted to play ramp room, so they posted up the off. They posted up ZywOo and ramp. If Grayhound was to go back to that attack, it would be much more difficult. Apex, ooh, a good dink, a follow-up dink, but Urcast is going to win the battle. Alex's turn. He wants to find something. I don't think he think he just spotted Sterling. Is he aware that Urcast is out here? He goes for the shoulder peek, and then he finds the frag. Grayhound is readjusted towards lobby and heading towards ramp. And the defense has rotated away.
And not for the first time. We saw Dexter push down ramp in rounds prior. This time it's more than just one player. Malta, Dick Stacy, Sterling, all making a move down. 30 seconds. They have to fully commit to this site now. And ZywOo, oh, the timing. It's not quite going to be as brutal as I thought. Re-peaks again, and there's Dick Stacy in his crosshairs. Smoke down. Molotov also planted into the control room. Playing footsie with the door, is taking a lot of damage through there, but still comes out ahead, dropping the bomb out. 8 seconds left, and Vitality will lead 17-16.
I have to imagine Malta's a little bit upset at that one. He hears the dink through the door as well, thinks he's got him at very low, just couldn't complete the kill. Pretty good CT half in overtime for Vitality, 2-1 as they switch sides in OT. 19 is the magic number to take this map.
However, we now go through onto the T side that in regulation only saw 4 rounds collectively picked up.
Yeah.
On both halves.
It's like I said earlier, I mean, these have been pretty ugly T sides on Nuke, but at this tournament, it doesn't matter how good you look as long as you get that win.
Sure. And to be fair, Grayhound did pick up 1 round on their T side. That is a valuable currency right now, but it's going to be Vitality with Apex straight down. We spoke about his entry. He's definitely no stranger to aggression.
Oh no, he misses his opportunity though. He had his knife out the whole way. It was such a beautiful play, but just can't land the shots. That is really tough to deal with. Especially considering the game that Apex has had. You would have put him as a shoe-in to find that frag. Dick Stacy going to build upon the woes, finds MPK, and all that's left is to come through the smoke in towards Midi. And Urcast loves that play.
He will welcome that all day long. RPK and ZywOo. Well, make that just ZywOo. With an AK-47. May get the drop on Sterling. Using a very tight angle indeed.
You think he goes for the knife?
Oh, I don't... He must have heard it, right? He must have heard...
Oh, he certainly did. He's going for the victory in this round. He wants to find multiple. It's about his only chance of winning this is if he can find a second... Oh!
Could get a second kill. It's just going to be a 1v1 for the time being. Dexter, though, has landed the shot partially through the back of the site. And now ZywOo has too many players to fight off against. 2 kills is all he can muster. Same with Vitality. And we are all even once again, 17-17.
I can't believe he missed that little tap.
Imagine the salt if the guy spins around
He's
and
just
cracks him in the
180,
face.
just, yep. I actually would have enjoyed seeing that to a certain degree. ZywOo's got 31 now as well.
Yeah, he's been chugging along.
33 for Apex, 31 for ZywOo. All tied up at 17 in this first overtime. Here we go again.
And once again, almost an identical play. This time Apex elects to go down into Decon instead.
I don't mind that so much. I mean, he got away with it so free last time. He's just like, listen, let's do that same play again. Well, I'll do it a little bit differently, but let's basically just rehash what we did. I should have had that kill. I should have been able to provide the opening. Give me another chance.
And this makes the passage for the rest of his team that much more safe. Now they know they can just push straight down. Apex has had this covered for the last 20 or so seconds. So instantly they've made so much ground downstairs, but Urcast now can snake his way, wiggle his way behind them all. Dick Stacy, the last line of defense on the site, as Urcast's going to find himself the head. Oh no, he's missed! That could cost him everything! ZywOo's got himself a second frag on top of it! This is spiraling out of control, and it's all off the back of that whiffed attempt at a kill. Sterling 1-on-4. You'd hate to see this match come down to that moment, but that could be the case.
What a round from ZywOo. Those are spectacular shots, especially because he's not expecting that flank initially. He has to whip his crosshair up to get that kill, and now it's Vitality with one chance to just close this out in the first overtime. We're going to get a tactical timeout. As, yeah, you want to make sure everyone in this round is on the same page. I like these plays from Apex, though, just because at this stage in the game, you're in overtime. You can tell these teams aren't necessarily super well versed on Nuke, so it's scrappy already. So just put put your star in a position to make a play for you. Apex had the chance that first round of overtime when he got down lower. In the second one, he doesn't really do too much, but he's got great positioning, which allows his teammates at least some measure of safety as they come through secret. It's ZywOo who makes the play, but you have to really admire the Apex taking up that mantle and just taking the responsibility to get down lower 2 rounds in a row in overtime. Now with the chance to complete this comeback, 3 kits, pretty good utility on the Grayhound side, but these attacking rounds on Nuke have been a struggle for both teams. So how exactly does Vitality approach it? And this time Dexter gets aggressive, opening kill the way of Grayhound, and Alex just has to watch.
Has to watch and hope the rest of his team can pick him up, carry him across the finish line. Dick Stacey waiting for that smoke to dissipate before he pulls back onto ramp. And Vitality haven't necessarily made many of these plays yet at all on A. And there's a reason for it. It's a very hard site to crack open, but MDK, of all plays, is going to come straight out, lands himself the entry. It's a 3-on-2, and this could be the final curtain coming down. Dick Stacey, though, finds himself a kill onto ZywOo, but there goes Apex. It's down to Sterling again. He's been in so many clutch situations, so many 1vx's. Is this his moment to shine? He's going to have to if Grayhound continue to be in this game. Finds out. Oh, no. What? How is that missed? He's got the second kill anyway, but it doesn't matter. Vitality have made the comeback a reality.
That's a beautiful performance. I mean, listen, this match is scrappy. It was not a great match from either team, but